Hello, everybody. Hey, y'all. Gotta look at the camera. Hey, welcome to today's and this week's Tuesday Tip or Two. It has been a long time. It has been, bro, what, 3 months since I've gone live on my real estate. Listen, and we have had so much growth in the YouTube streets. And so I had to come on. We have had so much growth and just let you know who I am. Number one, welcome. Thank you to everybody who is on the channel, who subscribed to the channel, who have liked my things. I'm thankful for that growth. I'm thankful for you discovering this page 9 times out of 10. You didn't have to subscribe, but you did. And hopefully you came across something that you like. But I wanted to go back to what I would originally do on a consistent basis. It was literally every week. Hey there, how you doing, Tina? Good to see you. It was literally every single week I was doing my Tuesday tips at 2 for a time. Okay. Please share this out. If you know of anybody who is interested in real estate and getting into real estate, learning about real estate, buying, investing, selling their home, they just need some information. You just want to know what's going on in real estate in general, please share this out to them. Thanks so much for joining me. I appreciate it. We are shooting off on all the platforms. I'm on my YouTube, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. Hey, everybody, and welcome to the party. But it is Tuesday Tip at 2. I have not had it in a while, and I pretty much have just kept it to talking about real estate trends, what's happening, where are we? Because, it's a lot going on in the world today. It is a lot going on in the world today. I'm not an economist by any stretch, but being out here in the real estate streets, as I always say, you can notice trends, you can notice what's happening, you can notice just what's happening at large, right? Hey everybody, how you doing? Thanks for joining me. Hi there, how are you? And so we're going to talk about what are the real estate trends for 2026. What are the real estate trends for 2026? What are the things that we need to look for? What are the things that we need to observe? What are the things that we need to just set our eyes on? What's going on out here, right? And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. Thanks so much again for joining me. Again, share this out to somebody. Like, share, comment. Hello, Instagram. And some people who join me on Instagram. Hello to y'all. And let's go ahead and get into it. Okay. So, what's been going on? Number one, what's been going on with me in regards to real estate? Let's talk about, or actually, I want to share with you one of the things that's going on. Of course, if you are interested in buying or selling, I'm a PA licensed realtor. And if you're interested in buying or selling in that area, you can go up to the QR code here. You can go up and scan that QR code and you can book a consultation, an appointment with me. Okay. And I also want to share with you how I started out my year this year with this video really quickly.
Guys, I just got my first house. Highly recommend her. 5 out of 5 stars.
Closing on a duplex. This is the first closing of the year, and I'm super excited. We had a small delay. It was supposed to be the last one of the year, but nonetheless, we were able to get it done. We secured the duplex that has 2 units with 2 bedrooms and 1 bath in each. And of course, I would like to surprise them with a gift. Well, my James with a gift. His mom is there, his dad is there. Everybody's all smile, having a good time. He forgot the car and his excitement. It's all good. But after the final walkthrough, of course, we made our way to the title company. Quick abstract where I ran into to sell an agent. And so we get in there. The decor is amazing as usual. And they always greet me with warmth. There goes Shad, the lender who helped close this deal, secure it. And of course, Justice, our closer. And it was a great time, my buyer client has to say.
With Danielle J. Mitchell, great real estate agent. She's been very patient with me, even though I got on her nerves a lot, and taking her through I don't know the word for it, but taking her on a nice run, but we got it done, and super grateful for all of her help and her guidance throughout the process. Highly recommend her, 5 stars, 5 out of 5 stars. And big shout out to Shad, he's been helping me throughout this process, as a mortgage agent, and, they've both been wonderful. So, new beginnings, great new fresh start, and I'm happy that they were with me throughout the whole process. So to them, appreciate them, love them for everything they've done. So yeah, new beginnings. Yeah.
I was completely honored to help James. I had 2 years ago helped his sister secure a house. So to be able to help him, part of the family. So, cheers to a start to 2026. And listen, if you're ready to buy or sell, you know what you need to do. All right. So, yeah, that was a little testimonial that I wanted to share with you guys for a client. We were supposed to actually secure that property at the end of 2025. But, with end of year, sometimes delays happen, and that is A-OK. But we were able to secure it at the top of the year. So that was phenomenal. So again, if you're interested in buying or selling, you can use the QR code here. If you're watching me vertically, or if you're watching me horizontally, it's over there. Okay. You could go ahead and check it out. All right. If you're watching a replay, what can I do? I can go ahead and actually put it in the chat now. Put it in the chat. Can I pin it? I can pin it. No, I was trying to pin it. No, I can't. Well, I can't pin it in the StreamYard, but you guys see it. So if you're interested in there, you can see it. All right. Anything else? Okay. Sorry, getting some notifications. All right. So that's all she wrote as far as announcements. Let's get into what is happening in the world. Hello, thanks for joining me. Let's get into what is happening in the world of real estate. Let's talk about what is going on here. Okay. So we're going to first talk about what is happening at large. Okay. So wherever you're joining from, hopefully this will be, pertinent for you. That some of the trends of what's happening in real estate at large. And then I'm going to go ahead and focus on the Philadelphia and surrounding areas after that. Okay. I always say when it comes to real estate, you can't just look at the news, because the news most times are starting with what's happening nationally as opposed to what is happening locally first. Sorry, I see something on my camera. And so what could be trending nationally does not mean that it's trending locally in that way. For example, some people are like, oh, the housing is slowing down and blah, 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 blah. That may, the housing sells and stuff like that. That may be the case nationally overall, but that is not the case necessarily for every municipality, city, region, area, neighborhood. All of those things play a factor. And we'll get more into that when we start to talk about the local Philadelphia area. But I just wanted to put that out there. Okay. So what's going on in real estate in 2026? Well, it seems that the 2026 U.S. real estate market is shifting towards better balance, right? It's characterized by rising inventory. So there are some things that are coming on the market, some more listings coming on the market, and a bit slower price growth, right? So that's expected at 1 to 3%. So price growth meaning how high your home can sell or a property can sell. And there is a slightly lower stabilizing mortgage rate. Okay. Buyers have more leverage than in previous years. And then while sellers are still adjusting to a less frantic market, I always go back to our recent 2020, 2021, 2022 years where, man, that seller's market was something. Okay. You had interest rates that were crazy. You had, I remember sitting on a Zoom and going through like 40 offers for a jacked up property. It was a great property to rehab because of the kind of property and because of the location of the property. And we had to sit on a Zoom and go through all the offers. They presented all of them and let us know what offer they ultimately picked. And so for some, there are some houses that may happen. I remember I have clients of mine who are looking for a house, and the house that came on the market Monday. I think they contacted me to check it out on a Wednesday. And when I went to go put in a showing, they said we had to cancel 20 something showings. We already have, 20 something offers. And so, sorry, no. And that reminds me of those 2021, 2022 days, but that is still happening today, guys, just depending on where it is. And again, we'll talk about that more when we talk about the Philadelphia area. Let's talk about these key trends. Specifically, let's talk about improved affordability. So monthly payments may decline a little bit for the first time since 2020 due to easing interest rates, which are expected to hover around that low sixes to high 5% range. Okay, so mortgage rates looks like they're going to kind of hold out. They're not dropping crazy, guys. It's just not going to happen because they don't want to push, again, home prices up again. So it's not going to drop crazy, but we might get some reprieve, it looks like. So far, that is the trend for now. There is increased inventory that is projected. So increased listings are reducing buyer urgency and leading to more balanced negotiations rather than bidding wars. Okay. And so hopefully as we see more inventory pop up, we'll see some ease for buyers. All right. So that makes for just a little bit more competition for sellers, but they should be okay overall. Market normalization. While price gains are slowing, a total crash is not expected. Instead, it is a reset year, is what is being projected right now. So it doesn't look like it's going to be a crash. Now, watch the news. There's a lot going on. Okay. It's wars, rumors of wars. It's a lot going on. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. Hi, guys. Yes. I'm looking at the chat in between. But there is, stuff going on. So just check the news. Just keep watching that news. When you see wars, when you see, taking over this, when you see, the change in our currency and what that looks like, just, you should be okay. You should be able to keep your house. If you have a house, you should be able to keep it. If you're buying a house, you should be able to buy it. But as far as crazy trends, interest rates, market crashing, or the biggest thing to look for when it comes to real estate and the effect on it is jobs, employment. That employment rate percentage, that's something to definitely look at. When it's mass unemployment in any way, shape, or form, that's not good. So if anything throws our economy out of whack, that's never good. Okay. If some, Fed funding is cut or something like that, those are the kinds of things that are like, that's scary. Other than that, just, because we also do not want, if you're offering 3D, does your website offer a glimpse of some of the properties you're offering in 3D? It really just depends on the property. So there are some, I have access to not just my listings, but other listings in my local area. And some of those listings that are up do have 3D renderings, do have 3D. So it really just depends on the property. Some properties offer that. But understand that, again, when you're watching the news, it's propaganda. It's a lot of stuff going on Talk to your local real estate professionals. Talk to your local lender. Don't just look at the news and be like, oh my goodness, it's all terrible. Talk to somebody to look at how the overall thing is impacting you locally. Okay. Regional variation. Again, look at that. Certain markets will, with rapid inventory growth, may experience temporary short term price dips. Okay. So if you have areas, again, this is good old history class, economics class, supply and demand. And so if you have a lot of growth in your particular area, that can have the price adjust. Okay. Technological integration. I love this because we know about AI. I use it every day, all day. So as I don't want to. I ain't gonna say I don't want to. That's a lie. Need that. I need to use it. Okay, I got a lot going on. So I need to use it to make things easier. I don't need it to necessarily think for me and everything. What's going on with my focus? But I definitely need when I'm putting together these social media posts and maybe a YouTube title and description. Absolutely. Yes. Okay. Tell me the real estate trends. All right. I need it to give me the outline. Now, with my expertise, with me being in the streets, with me being a professional, I'm able to use what I know in my experience and me doing this and doing the job. I'm able to break it down to you in a way that hopefully is understandable and palatable, right? And give you real life examples. At the same time, we need AI, okay? We need virtual staging. We also need real staging. Just depends on the property. It depends on the budget. Okay. We need all of it. All that to say, artificial intelligence. I need artificial intelligence to call houses for me. That's the next thing. Can I just be honest? I'm just talking right now. I need AI to make some cold calls because we got to generate business. We got to generate business. So I'm just saying, and for those of us who don't like being on the phone, or people cussing you out or not being too kind, I'm just saying you want to have the AI cold calling function to call these people. Okay. And it's less time and stress on you. Okay. All right. That's my side note. But artificial intelligence will significantly reshape how properties are searched, priced, and analyzed by both consumer and agents. Okay. It will significantly change that. I don't doubt that people will think that they can do it all themselves. But this business is a people business. Oh, AI is a nice buffer from the cussing. I'm screaming. I love it. But I think that being able to utilize AI, I know people will probably use it to go through contracts. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think if I'm working with a super duper A type personality who needs to go over every line, I've had people just straight up not buy nothing and have watched the ship pass them by because they were so overly A type. They were so overly, I need to understand. I need now. Because I'm thinking of the persons in my head, right? I'm thinking of the persons, and I'm just like, okay, when you need a real estate lawyer in conjunction with a realtor, you're likely, it's either a commercial space, right? Or you're getting a, millions of dollar house, multi-million dollar house, okay? Where you might want an assistance, where you might want the assistance of a real estate lawyer as well, because, based on how you want your taxes done, or based on maybe it's not going to be in your name, it's going to be in your S Corp, or it's going to be in your LLC or whatever. That makes sense. I get that. But when you're buying a home, I say in a regular price range, and that could be middle class, upper middle class. Too much C in this chat. That's hilarious. That could be middle class, upper middle class, whatever it is. we out here regular, right? You do not need a lawyer to look through that thing. You don't, right? And I have seen people, listen, them good old 1%, 2%, 3% interest rates pass them by, where they're able, and they have solid everything, solid money, solid savings, solid job. I've seen it pass them by. I've seen them people get laid off and come back and they're like, well, I had this. I've seen people, stuff personally has happened with them, and that ship has sailed, and now they're like, well, I'm trying. Now, I do believe in redemption, okay? But we also can't rewind time to 2021. Right? That is why there is a saying that says, you don't wait to buy. You buy and wait. Okay? You do not wait to buy, because guess what? The people who were able to capitalize, I was one of them in 2021. The people who are able to capitalize, that's wonderful. So whether you're able to capitalize, if rates do dip, you're able to capitalize by, if you already have a house, you can refinance. If you keep your credit where it's supposed to be, you don't have to worry. You're ready. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. You can refinance. Yes, 1, 2, 3. Yes, it is absolute still. You can refinance your home if you already bought. If you have not bought and you're just in the season of buying, and it just so happened that rates just dropped crazy, that's phenomenal. That's amazing. Okay. But don't ever, you have to be able to strike while the iron is hot. Strike while the iron is hot. So all this, I'm going to wait it out. Wait it out until when? Listen, the best economists can't predict when any of this could happen. They can let you know by history, by probability, by facts, by all of the things, but nobody knows until it happens. So waiting it out, it could take what? You figure we did in 2020, 21, we had those interest rates dip like it did. And the last time that happened was in 07, 08. So you're just going to be waiting 15, 20 years at a time, potentially? Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to go on a tangent, but I'm just saying, make it make sense, guys. Okay. Whoever gets this clip, whoever hears this, make it make sense. You don't wait to buy, you buy and you wait. Okay. Next one. If you're able to, in this climate with these interest rates, get into a property that you can be okay with, it's not about settling, but it's about getting into home ownership. If you're okay with it, if it's like, okay, it's not in the best ideal area, but I'm okay with being here to get started as my step one, as my phase one. All right. What's next? Commercial and rental shifts. This again, we're talking about real estate across US and at large. The industrial and multifamily sectors remain strong, while office spaces are seeing a cautious recovery, particularly for high quality and prime assets. Now, what does that mean? We know, especially for commercial, we know that a lot of businesses, probably your job that you work for, a lot of them stayed out of the office and ain't give no raises, but that's a whole nother, because they don't have that expense no more. But a lot of them stayed out the office. They were like, hey, this works. We don't need a whole big budget for this commercial space. Okay. So there is some recovery there. You hear about people moving back into the office and moving, or they're hybriding or something like that. So something to consider. Next thing is, okay. Yeah. Next thing is design and preferences. So this is just home designs. What's the trend in home design and preferences in 2026 for real estate? It is focusing on returning to the earth. I've definitely been noticed a lot more earthy stuff, a lot more earthy colors. So in all the houses I've been looking at and everything that have been finishing out now, Whether it's in reels, whether it's in actual houses or just even locally, I've definitely been seeing a lot more natural color palettes, terracotta, olive green. I don't like my greens. Creating a specific functional outdoor living zones. Okay. So that is the trend. So some of those caramel, earthy. I definitely been seeing a lot more texture. I feel like that's been a trend as of lately for a while now. A lot of textures and all that stuff. Challenges: despite improvements, affordability remains a major factor. Listen, guys, that's not going nowhere. With the median home buyer age remaining high at about 40 years old, right? Which in times past you might have gotten at least 30 in times past, but it's remaining around 40 now. Okay, let's talk about locally. Okay, so again, I am Daniel J. Mitchell, your PA, Pennsylvania licensed realtor who services the Philadelphia area, which include but are not limited to Philadelphia County, Montgomery County, Delaware County, Chester County, all the counties. These are surrounding suburban counties in the area. So I'm definitely going to talk about Philadelphia, but I'm also contrast it between Philadelphia, the city, and the different pockets within the city, because that's the whole thing, as well as some of the suburbs that surround the area. All right. I see a comment here. Let me pull it up. I forget that I can pull up comments. As long as there's no buyer's remorse involved, it should be a great investment, regardless of the interest rates, guys. Yes, considering all other factors are on good terms. Absolutely. I think buyer's remorse is a huge thing. That's why I don't like to pressure my buyer clients. I don't like to pressure them. I'm not telling you what to do, right? I'm gonna give you suggestions. I'm gonna give you factors. I'm gonna give you consideration. I'm gonna say, I strongly urge. I really think this is a good one. If we done seen 25, and I know I want, and I listen. I've had buyers pick houses where I'm like, if you like it, I love it. It happens. It hurts my heart. I hurt for them, but I'm just like, hey, I did my job. I tried. I let them know. I let people know. You know what I'm saying? I let people know without controlling. Like, you sure? All right. I'm just saying. I think the other one might, just because low maintenance, it's a little newer. There's so many factors to consider, because I don't ever want any of my clients to feel buyer's remorse, because that's never fun. Nobody wants to feel buyer's remorse, right? And so all that to say, you're absolutely right. As long as buying a house is going to be the better investment, unless you're trying to in most markets aren't in a place where I could buy the house and then 2 weeks later I can sell it and then make a profit. No. If you're trying play that game, unless you're a true investor, if you're trying to play that game just from a residential standpoint and being a quote unquote regular consumer, I just want my house, then no. But if you are like, hey, I'm gonna be staying in this house for at least a good 3 to 5 years, right? At least a good 5 to 7 years, then you're doing okay. All right, you're doing okay as far as being able to gain some money within the home. And I did what did I do? I think I did like a reel either last week or the week before in regards to a starter home, and how a lot of people do not want to have a starter home for some reason, and not understanding a starter home. Even if you stay there 3 to 5 years, depending on the area, you're able to have some equity. You're able to pull that out for your next home. You're able to reinvest it. You're able to rent out that property. Again, if interest rates drop, you're able to refinance. It's so many things that you can do. You can Airbnb it depending on where it is. And so I think that we're so consumer minded that we don't understand the duality of having not just a consumer mindset, but also having a mindset of a boss, also having a mindset of let me have this property work for me. Let me have this property begin to pay for itself. Even if I'm not getting a multifamily or something like that, if I have the mindset of these are the options that I have owning this property, and if I wish to do what I want to do with it in 5 years, that it can work for me and it can actually help me so that I'm getting what I want eventually. You know, most of us cannot buy the dream home first time around. That's just what it is. And it's always been that way. That's not a new concept. It's always been that way. I don't care what the house prices were. So if that's the case, then why do I have to feel this pressure to get the new house first time around, or the dream house the first time around? That makes no sense. Anyway, I digress. Dang. Not beige. You don't like beige? Somebody said, I hate beige. Give me crispy, right? Beige, you know, I get it. I'm not mad at it. All right, back to my notes here. Speaking of, who was that? That was just Danielle, right? Speaking of just Danielle, side note, why didn't you tell me about the notes portion in StreamYard? And it's also a teleprompter. I mean, I feel like he was holding up, okay? But it's helping me. It's helping my life, okay? I don't have to switch back and forth between tabs now. I don't understand why I wasn't told about this. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I was just saying, I'm a pick at her later, because I'm just like, whoa, all this time you could put notes in the StreamYard. I'm like, I mean, I haven't been going live on StreamYard that long, but I'm just saying, when I looked at it, I said, and you could tell her probably if you want to. That's craziness. Why did my best friend tell me this? I'm just saying. Okay. It's fine. I digress, guys. So what's happening in the local Philly real estate market? It is poised to become more balanced, active landscape with inventory increasing over 16% as the lock-in effect eases. Home values are projected to rise to 2 to 4%, reflecting a steadier, more sustainable experience than previous years, with mortgage rates forecasted around 6.3%, and today is actually at about 6.1%. Buyer demands remains high, driven by the city's relative affordability and strong suburban interest. Okay, listen, and I forgot that I want to do a vlog about this. I want to do a vlog. And I'm going to talk more about this. I live in Ardmore, which is on the main line. I have the regional rail that is literally a 25 minute train ride to downtown. When I tell you it is a good time, it was, and I'm within walking distance to the train. So I walked to the train, hopped on the regional rail. I did a little scan. I'm gonna do a vlog about this because I think it will be great for this page. Do a vlog of how easy it is to get downtown, especially because they are doing some some more construction, because they just finished some apartments in Suburban Square, and they're going to be building, I believe, more apartments on this little corner that's, again, right down the street from the regional rail. It was a good time. I said, oh, this is great. I'm just going downtown. I just click the little tap, get on a little 25 minute ride and get off. I said, this is phenomenal. This is so wonderful. I was like, the ease is amazing. Now, it'd be hiccups. Of course, if you do this every day or most days, it'd be hiccups, especially during, if it's bad weather and all that fun stuff. But I'm just saying, people like that. People like to be like stuff that's walkable. People like to be able to get where they need to go. I know from my area where I live, that is why these apartments, condos, all kinds of stuff is booming. Because people who work in Philly, who don't necessarily want to live in Philly, want the ease of being able to get to Philly, even if it's just to hang or to do something, even if they don't work in Philly. If they just want to pop downtown real quick for something, they want to be able to do that. Even if they work from home, they want to be able to. So all that to say, where am I? I saw the comment. Hold on. Okay. Thank you, Miss Tina. Okay. All right. All is forgiven then. All is forgiven. All is well. Thank you for that comment. She commented here. I was asking about, for those of you who might be just joining us, I was asking about a new feature that's on the StreamYard that I wasn't told about by a friend of mine. Yeah, so there's that. All right. So what's next on here? What time is it? All right, we're making good time. Okay. So key Philadelphia real estate trends for 2026. Let's go through inventory and sales. Inventory is expected to rise by over 16% in 2026. That's a lot, guys. That's a lot. Easing the extreme supply of constraints of previous years, despite more options, Greater Philadelphia ranks number 6 in the nation for hot housing markets by Zillow, with tight supply still favoring sellers in many areas. Let's talk about that. That is so true. I remember somebody said to me, "Yes, I hear it's a buyer's market in Philly." I said, "Okay, where? What area? What price point are we talking about? What area and what price point? What are we talking about?" That was my question, because I'm like, "You sure?" And many, so the way Philly is set up is so many pockets. Let's do a little impromptu map of Philly here. Philadelphia. Let's do it impromptu. I wasn't planning on doing it. But let's do a quick map of Philadelphia, so y'all can see what we know to be true in Philadelphia. I think another city where it's similar is like in New York. Of course, they're bigger. We all know. I don't want none of the New Yorkers coming at me. Y'all bigger, okay? I don't want nobody coming for me. Are you going to open? Hold on, sorry. This thing won't open for me. There we go. I just need the map, y'all. Just give me the map. Oh no, but what I will say, I'll zoom in on this. Let's see. Okay. All right. I think this will do. All right, let me share my screen. All right. All right, hopefully you can see that. I can zoom in a little bit more. But so this is Philly. So this one has all the neighborhoods and all that fun stuff. And so all that to say is all of this is Northeast Philly right here. So this is like the start of it. Northeast Philly, and then it goes up here would be far Northeast Philly. Super. Now I have clients looking here, right? When so I said earlier about my clients who are having a hard time finding a house, because around here there are areas that look like the suburbs, right? Some great grass, some amazing single family homes. There's row homes there, twin home, all kinds. There are houses where you can get land there. It's a lot going on. It's amazing. But my clients are looking for like a ranch home on one floor, which is the turnover rate up here. Okay, like honestly, people are dying out of their houses. Can I just? So a lot of the houses that are on the market, coming on the market, there are old. If now an investor might have got a hold of it and renovated it, but then now the price is up, right? So whether it's rehab, old, look like grandma house, or rehabbed, when I tell you it flies off the market, It flies off the market. So my clients who are trying to, get another home, they're looking in this area, which is highly desirable. And they are also looking for, a rancher, all that other stuff specific to what they want within the price point that they want. And when I tell you it's been difficult, so like they say, you got to pay to play. So if you really, really, really want to pay or play, you got to pay. So now you come out of your price point if you really want to get in there. Or you got to get something that you really can put some elbow grease into. And like I said, even those properties, are, unless it's just a terrible property, or just priced too high for the work that it needs done, those properties will stay on the market. But for the most part, they are garners. Okay. And the same as, this is a very desirable area here, Manayunk and Roxborough and stuff like that. Right. So some of these areas and pockets that's like that's here. Of course, you got Center City, just depending on what you're selling there. You got Overbrook and Winfield. There are certain areas that are just very desirable. And so in those areas that are desirable, if it's priced right, if it looks decent, it's out of here. It's a wrap. It's out of here. So it really just, depends on the area. And so that's what I want to say about Philly. It can be, interesting. It can be touch and go. But for the most part, if it's priced where it wants to be in the area, it's definitely selling a seller's market. If it is what a buyer needs, it's gonna go. Okay. So look at me, sharing the screen. We fancy. I got some comments. Hold on. Okay, let's see. Oh, thank you. Somebody commented, girl, I love your style. Thank you very much. What's it? Amaya, thank you. Put her up. Thank you, Amaya. Appreciate it. I hate when they act like Philly is one place, but it is. Sorry, I can't read. It is, but it is not. Yes, you're right. West Philly and like 246, and yes, absolutely. Yes. That's why I showed the map, because it's so different depending. And honestly, it's not even, you can't even base it off zip code, because the map I just showed is a zip code map. You also have to base it on, it can be block by block. Block by block. It can change significantly. It can change in affordability. It can change in price. So absolutely, it can absolutely change. I saw that there was some people on the Instagram live. Hey, IG. I can't see your stuff come up, okay? On my on nothing, but I'm gonna just say hi. Hey y'all. There you go. You gotta show IG some love, okay? Gotta show IG some love. Okay. So where are we? Next, go back to my notes. Let's talk price growth and stabilization. The era of rapid double-digit appreciation over time. Double-digit appreciation is over. Moderate, sustainable growth of roughly 2 to 4% is expected for home values in the Philadelphia area. What does that mean? For a time, it was like, property value. Talking about, so if your property, 2 to 4% is where it should be, right? Depending on the area that you're in. I feel like in the suburbs, it's probably a bit higher because of the demand of suburbs, according to Philly. But having 2 to 4% makes sense, right? And so you don't want your property to depreciate. And the hope is that it does appreciate. But I think for a time, depending on where you were, it was definitely jumping in value year over year significantly. But 2 to 4% is the typical how it should be. Hello there, TikTok. I see some people on there. And so, yeah. So I think that's good. Interest rate, average 30-year. I don't know. They try and Well, no, actually, they did pull the plug on 50-year mortgages. I don't know who's offering it, what lender, but I know FHA did pull the plug on 50-year. But your average 30-year is anticipated to hover around, again, that 6.3%, 6.11%. So your lower sixes, your higher fives, all right, throughout 2026. Let's go back to the suburban and luxury demand. Demand for suburban, high end, and turnkey, I can't talk, and high end turnkey homes with buyers looking for more space and home offices. Okay. The demand for suburban, listen, it's not going nowhere. It's not going nowhere, y'all. Okay. I feel like low key, high key, Philly hasn't been as, or at least wasn't as bad in 2025 as far as crime, but Philly is still going to be Philly. Okay. And so there are some people who are still going to want to live in the suburb. And just because, especially for the schools, I just saw the article that in Philly that I think 20 schools they want to shut down or projecting to shut down. They would like to shut down, which is something. So, yeah, that's a whole thing. But it's definitely suburban luxury demand. I know the funny thing is, again, the apartments, the condos that they're building out here are very, urban feeling, luxury, urban, and they definitely have space for home offices, right? Let's talk about the rental market. Ooh. Rental prices in Philadelphia have stabilized after recent volatility. Okay. With rents expected to remain relatively flat in 2026. So we'll see in regards to the rental market. Private landlords, they're going to do what they want to do. So we'll see what they'll continue to do. I will say an effect on the rental market is the newly and in place how much you can ask for somebody's security deposit. It has to be 1 month or whatever for security deposit. It can't be 2 months anymore. Depending on how much you're asking them up front to move into your property, you had to offer a payment plan for it. So those things, as far as the rental landlord market, I know those things are definitely taking a toll on the rental market as well. All right, impact. Let's talk about the MER. This is another one. Impact of local initiative. Mayor Parker has just signed a $2 billion home initiative that aims to create and preserve thousands of units. Its impact on the overall market on affordability and mobility in 2026 is expected to be minimal, focusing more on long-term stability and repairs. I know that investors are feeling like in regards to this bill that was just signed, this local initiative, because there are affordable housing that's out there, whether it's rental or whether for sale. And I know there are plenty of investors, affordable housing, whether for rent or for sale, that has sat, that be sitting. People be picky out here. And not only are they picky, but they're not held accountable when they act like nuts in regards to these properties. And I'm talking specifically for rentals on that front. I knew somebody who had an affordable house that was way below. Affordable house for sale means that it is capped at how the price point you can sell it at. Okay. And I know one, and these are brand new houses, right? 5 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, basements, all kinds of stuff, central air. Some may have central air, some may not, but I mean, it's amazing house, amazing space. And the tough part with some of those properties is that the area, and even though it is below market and supposed to be affordable, it is still not affordable enough for the people that qualify for the program. So this is great, but also we need to fix the stuff that's here already and in place so that these properties and these rentals can move and these things can be more efficient. That's my little soapbox for that. As we are coming to a close, I got a couple more comments. They need to fix that feature on IG. Yes, yeah, the IG be annoying. I'm so glad that they pulled the plug. That bullshit. 50-year mortgage was ridiculous. Yeah, 50-year mortgage. I don't know. I don't know if they pulled the plug. I thought FHA said, yeah, it's all right. I don't know. I didn't even look at it. I just don't know any lenders or if they're doing it. I don't know. I'm like, who getting that? Nobody. Y'all trying to crash the market. Y'all know everybody. Let's talk about this. If you're able to qualify for a 50-year mortgage, not only was they proposing a 50-year mortgage, but they're also proposing no credit. Like they was proposing like no credit, next to no credit. You know, like forget a 520 credit score, forget a 500 credit score. They said They said Okay. They said nope, no thank you. That's fine. You don't gotta have no credit, little credit, bad credit. It's like one of those infomercials. And it's like, so you're trying to make the market crash. If you are giving mortgages away to people who are not gonna pay, they're not paying. Just watch. Just watch. That's all I'm saying. We have to, if we watch the news, we have to look at it through lenses of, why would you do that? Are you trying to push for the market to crash? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All right. What does all this mean, particularly locally, for buyers and sellers? For sellers, well-priced, move-in ready homes are still selling quickly. Okay, if it's priced well, if it's move-in ready, if you're giving the people what they want as far as what that house is, this is not the market, particularly in Philadelphia, to play on the in-between, right? And in certain markets. So you either have to go all the way there as far as finishes. Hey, central air, finished basement, giving the people the basics, central air, finished basements, have it look nice, decent work, all that other stuff, and priced right is going to be a goner at some point. But you also can't be like, I'm gonna kind of do a halfway in between. It's going to look nice, but I'm not going to give you all the amenities and features that people will want in a house. Then you're going to have to price that probably lower than what you would like. So it's definitely a market for investors to play smart. Okay. Be conservative. Okay. Because it's sticky tricky in these Philadelphia streets. For buyers, the market remains competitive, but increased inventory provides for more options. Okay. So the market is shifting towards a more sustainable pace rather than a rapid, frantic one. All right. So it's a bit more stability out here in the streets. All right, that is all for today's and this week's Tuesday Tip at 2. Thank you everybody who was able to join me. I hope that was super duper uber beneficial to you. I hope you got some good takeaways there. Listen, if you want me to keep doing this, I'm gonna give the people what they want. So if you are watching this, number one, if you're watching a replay, I want you to hit the hashtag replay gang, do something like that. Okay. I would love to hear from you. If you are interested in hearing more on real estate, I don't want you to just say, yes, I am. I want you to send in topics. What do you want to hear about? What do you want to talk about? Thank you very much. Appreciate that. What do you want to hear about? What do you want to talk about when it comes to real estate? There are some things I have talked about in the past that I don't mind running back and giving refreshers on, but I would love to hear from you. What are some topics that you want to hear about, that you want to learn? You can leave it in the comment under this video. Replay gang, I want to hear about blase. All right. Whether you're watching on the IG, the TikToks, you can, of course, direct message me and let me know different areas. Love that. And what section offer? All right. What areas? Let me know. What's the top areas you want to hear about? I would love to hear about it. And I don't mind talking about it. I don't mind talking about it. Let me know what areas you want to hear from, what areas you want to talk about, whatever it is. Like I said, I know at least from a vlogging standpoint, I want to do like, hey, what it takes to get downtown for those who are, on the in between of Philly and the suburbs and stuff like that. So, but for a live standpoint, what y'all want to hear? What y'all want to talk about? Okay. Let me know in the real estate streets. That is all again for today's and this week's Tuesday tip of two. Okay, love that. Yep. Love that. All right, my TikTok wants to go away. Love that. She said she wanted to know about the far northeast. She said, tell me about the zip code. What's going on in the street? TikTok is done with me. There we go. All right, y'all. Well, that is all for today. And I'm going to head on out of here, and I will talk to you guys soon. What did I used to say? I used to say there's no place like home. There's no place like home buying. All right. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.